We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekly morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about exactly how a major breakout is going to be coming to Bitcoin in just a matter of weeks. Today, we're going to talk about how the halving is just a week away on Bitcoin, and we will be discussing exactly how to benefit from this movement. If you are trying to build wealth and you are trying to use cryptocurrency as a part of that journey, then you have found the right place, because what we teach here is a concept called financial sovereignty. You see, I want you to be the one that is in control of your financial life, not the other way around. I don't want your money to control you. I don't want your possessions to control you. I don't want debts to control you. I don't want poverty or lack to control you. I don't want you to be enslaved to financial institutions like credit card companies. I don't want you to be enslaved to the depreciation of value in the United States dollar. No, instead, I want you to be the one that is in control of your financial destiny. And the first thing we want to talk about here today is that when you decide to make a change, you've got to have a moment where you say, enough is enough. From here on out, I am going to be the one calling the shots. Not you, debt. Not you, boss that sucks and is a complete jerk. Not you, credit cards. Not you, lack of investment mindset. Not you, bank statements that say I spend $3,000 a month more than I take in every single month. I am going to be the one in control, and I am going to grow my wealth, because it's a good thing to grow my wealth, and I'm going to continue to grow it for my entire life, and I'm going to enjoy it, and most importantly, I'm going to be generous with it. But it all starts with saying I, or if you're married, we will take control of our finances, and they will not control us anymore. Period. That is the way it will be in this house, under this roof, within these four walls. From now on, I am sick and tired of not having any money. I'm sick and tired of not having a portfolio in cryptocurrency and in the stock market. I am sick and tired of not knowing where my money goes every month. I'm sick and tired of being broke. I have heard the phrase sick and tired of being sick and tired since way before Dave Ramsey was ever a name that I'd ever even heard of before. I know so many people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you know what? I've been sick and tired of being sick and tired before. I've had to learn a lot in the last 6 or 7 years since I became an entrepreneur when I was 16 years old. And one of the things that I learned is that the only way that anything will ever change in my life is if I am the one that is in control of it and I steward it correctly. And it took me about 5 years to finally find the phrasing and the definition and the philosophy that will now guide me and hopefully you for the rest of our lives. And that is financial sovereignty. We must make a decision right now to be the ones in control of our finances, of our spending, of our debt, and ultimately of our financial destiny. If we choose to do that, it will radically change the kind of decisions we make. It will change the kinds of things we purchase. It will change the kinds of debts that we bring on, i.e., we won't bring on any. It will change whether or not we budget. It'll change our sleep. 1, we'll sleep better when we go to sleep, and 2, we'll be up motivated, because when you feel like you're in control of your life and you're growing something, your life's good. You feel fulfillment and joy. Farmers are some of the happiest people on the planet. My neighbor, very, very, very kind woman. She grew up on a farm. She got the most beautiful garden in the entire neighborhood. Front yard, backyard, just absolutely spectacular. It's like the Garden of Eden out there. This woman is so joyful. She is so happy because she loves to watch those plants grow. You find fulfillment when you get control over something and you watch it grow. You get fulfillment in your parenting when you are the one that is in control of your children and you help them to grow. You get fulfillment when you and your wife both get control of yourselves and your marriage starts to grow. You get fulfillment and joy when you get control over your finances and you put them on a trajectory for growth. It is not a bad thing that you feel joy with in that area. That is a good thing because God commanded you to do that. And you're honoring him, and that's why you had earned that joy, because you were following his statutes. So good for you. And together, let us make a decision that from this day forward, forget about the past, we'll learn our lessons and leave it behind. But from this day forward, we are going to be the ones calling the shots, and we are going to be the ones putting every area of our life into a growth trajectory. And if we take 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards, that happens, that's called life. But we are going to be on a path towards growth. And nothing will ever convince us that is not a worthy goal. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto Live. Today is FinSolve Friday. Let's go ahead and read some chat, and then we're going to dive right on into it. Arthur DeVroom said, let's dream. I love it. Cosmin B is in chat, said, morning. Marley120 Thirst is in chat. Sev Tomir Marinov said, greetings from Bulgaria. Good morning. The King Takeo is in chat. One House Production said, happy hodling. Much respect, Jeb. Thank you so much. Joe Bollier's in chat. Alex Kaimana. One House Productions again. Shadrach Frost in chat said, happy hashtag FinSolve Friday, Jeb. Drian said, Jeb. Oh my goodness, excuse me. So sorry. Jeb, happy Christmas. Jeb, brother, happy Christmas. Jeb, brother, happy Christmas. There's a comma missing there. I'm sorry. Cryptorian said, by the dip. Satchet321. Shadrach Frost in chat again. Museum of Corruption, Drian, and Richard Day, all in chat. Let's get started, guys. Bitcoin is right now trading at $69,683. It is down 0.67% in the last 24 hours. It is up 3% during the last 7 days. So we've largely been sideways, and the main reason for that is because we are looking at a major event coming into cryptocurrency very soon. That would be the halving. The halving is going to be coming in about a week. We're looking at April 19th, which is this coming Friday. So when we see that halving take place, there is naturally going to be a very, very large change in the economy of cryptocurrency, and that is that Bitcoin's block reward will be cut in half. Duh. That's where the name halving comes from. It will be cut in half from 6.25 Bitcoin down to 3.125 Bitcoin, which means that every 10 minutes when a lucky miner somewhere in the world correctly guesses the answer to the cryptographic hashing function that Bitcoin runs on, they will, instead of getting 6.25 Bitcoin, they will be getting 3.125 Bitcoin. Now they're probably part of a mining pool, so it'll all get diversified. But the fact of the matter is, that's what's going to happen. And the reason that changes things is because it leads Bitcoin to be less inflationary. It leads Bitcoin to have a slower increase in its supply so that it becomes even more scarce. In fact, after this halving event, Bitcoin will be by leaps and bounds more scarce than gold. People don't realize this. They say the United States dollar goes up by 2% in supply every single year. That's true, at least. So does gold, though. You probably didn't know that, did you? People are still mining gold. The mining rate of gold does not slow down. The mining rate of gold stays exactly the same. In fact, many years, it increases. There are so many gold deposits being tapped right now. It is absolutely remarkable how much gold there is in the world and how much gold there is still being mined. That is not the case with Bitcoin because it's set in stone, or in, I guess, this case, digital code, how much Bitcoin there will ever be. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. That is guaranteed in the original code. So Bitcoin is going to become even more scarce, and what do we buy? We buy things that are scarce, that we have a reasonable expectation are going to appreciate a great deal in value over time. That is how we invest. That is a back-of-the-napkin definition of investment. We invest in things that we reasonably expect will be worth significantly more in the long run. And when we do that, we have success. All right. Ethereum is up 5% over the last 7 days. Binance up 4%. Solana down at 167, looking like a pretty solid entry if you're trying to get into Solana, actually. Not convinced you're going to see much lower than that. I think you're going to see a big rally on Bitcoin here in the next couple of days. I'll explain why here in a moment. And then we'll continue talking to chat. So if any of you guys have any questions, please make sure to leave them in chat. Cardano is sitting at 56 cents. It is down 1.47% in the last 7 days. Avalanche down 1.8%. Bitcoin Cash, rightly, down 13%. Not a big fan of Bitcoin Cash. Guys, it's the toilet paper of cryptocurrency. It's terrible. You think that you're going to solve some of Bitcoin's problems that don't even need to be solved by 8xing the block size. That's not the solution at all. Complete nonsense. I remember when Bitcoin Cash came out. It came out a month after I got into the cryptocurrency space, 6.5 years ago. It is still at $500. It has been 6 years. It has not even caught up to the price of Bitcoin sorry, not the halving. I said the halving. It is not even caught up to the price of Bitcoin when the hard fork happened. Bitcoin was trading at $3,000. I remember this. I bought Bitcoin Cash. Higher than $500. I bought Bitcoin Cash, bought 10 bucks of it. Lost almost all of it in one of my first ever trades. Up here. Way up here at a couple $1,000s. Bought 10 bucks of it. Never recovered. Do not buy Bitcoin Cash. Please do not buy Bitcoin Cash. All right. Let's go ahead and read some chat. I really appreciate all of you for being here. And then we're going to jump on over to Bitcoin. Will Ether ETF approval in Hong Kong, can that explode Ethereum? I've heard about that. I don't think that's going to lead to a massive explosion on Bitcoin. The reason is because Hong Kong is, first of all, there's a lot going on in Hong Kong. Hong Kongers right now have a lot of trouble with the mainland right now from China. But the second fact of the matter here is that Hong Kong is still a very small nation in relation to the United States. It's just a very small economy. Now, there's a lot of development in the cryptocurrency space, but disproportionately going on in Hong Kong. But it's nowhere near big enough to cause a huge change in things in the rest of the economy, except for in two areas. One area is that Hong Kong is likely going to be annexed by China very soon, which means that a Chinese territory will have an Ethereum ETF. That's exciting because that essentially means that China has an Ethereum ETF. Now, it's not exciting for Hong Kong, and by no means do I think that Hong Kong should be under the auspices of the tyrannical, dictatorial, Nazi-esque regime that is the Chinese dynasty that we currently have that's masquerading itself as a communist party. No, I don't think at all that it's a good thing that China is going to be retaking Hong Kong from the Brits, which relinquished it back in the 90s. Absolutely, I don't think that's good for the Hong Kongers, and I don't want that to happen to them. That being said, it's probably going to happen, and when it does, you're going to see an ETF for Ethereum in a Chinese market, which is interesting. Could end up being something that spurs the United States along to adopt an Ethereum ETF. So, in that regard, one, that China would eventually have an Ethereum ETF, and two, that would probably put some pressure on the United States not to get left behind by the likes of China. That is just one more feather in the cap when I say that we're eventually going to have an Ethereum ETF, and that's just not something that you're really going to be able to stop. All right. Crypto Simp, it's quite the name, said there's more paper gold than actual physical gold. They're allowed to sell roughly 20% more gold than they pull out of the ground. Yeah. It's a form of fractional reserve lending. One of the reasons I don't own gold. I don't really like the traditional banking system all that much. I don't like that the entire thing runs on charging people interest. You know, say what you will about the Bible, but it really teaches you how to treat people correctly. One of the things the Bible teaches is that a brother is not to charge usury, otherwise known as interest, to another brother. Because charging interest on debt, it's okay to loan somebody something. It's not okay to say, okay, you got to pay this back with 10%. That kind of means that as a Christian, I don't see how you can really participate in the whole debt system where you're loaning people money. Because you're going to inevitably, whether you mean to or not, charge interest to a brother. The whole banking system is backwards. I understand that it's nice to have electronic deposits and everything, and FDIC insurance and all this. We have a bank account, but I don't like the big national banks. We use a local bank. I know the people that work at the bank. It's a smaller bank. A very, very good, very good people work there. People that we really appreciate. So I'm not against every single bank, but these big banks that are soulless and they make all of their money by sucking the life out of you by having a bunch of debt. Guys, do you realize that when you factor up how much of your income goes to taxes and interest, then you will understand why the government is so big, and you will understand why the banking sector is so big. Because of how much money we pay into interest and in taxes. I would be willing to bet that a lot of people watching this stream right now, over 40% of your income is going to one of those two. Interest on debt that you owe or taxes. And all you are doing is you are being a milk cow for the government and for the banks. because you are paying their way so that in some high tower somewhere, they can argue about what kind of thing they're going to eat for lunch. Are we going to have caviar or filet mignon? We'll slap you upside the head because I can't agree with you. And let's go yell at our assistant while we're at it because we're freaking jerks. And we'll make $400,000 a year sucking the life out of families that are stuck in credit card debt, that are stuck with a mortgage, paying 5 times as much every month on the interest as they are on the principal. So they'll end up paying $700,000 for a $350,000 house because they got to pay once for the house and they got to pay a second time to the bank. Get a CPA, legally pay as little as you can in taxes. Legally. Don't lie. Don't be dishonest. Legally. Pay as little as you can in taxes. And 2, completely cut yourself out of the debt equation. If you do those things, you will be freed up to build wealth. You know why people pay off all their debt and move to Puerto Rico? Because when you move to Puerto Rico, you got almost no taxes, and you have no debt, so you have no interest, so your income's just free, and you do whatever you want with it. That's why so many rich people are moving to Puerto Rico. Just met one of them a couple weeks ago. He's somebody that I've been doing financial coaching with for a few months. Moved his entire business down there. Multi-millionaire. We're not interested in moving to Puerto Rico. My wife's actually from Puerto Rico, but we're not going to move. But if you get rid of those 2 things as much as you can, the taxes and the interest on debt, by getting rid of the debt and having a good CPA to help you with your accounting and your write-offs and everything and your depreciation, you will have so much more income freed up to live your life, probably doubling your income just by doing those 2 things. All right, let's read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to jump into the actual analysis here. Altcoins getting smeared every day. Yeah. Let's see. Somebody asked if I could answer their question, but I did not see your question. So sorry. You can say it again. 60% Bitcoin, 40% alt, so you don't get wrecked. I'm fine with that. All right. Let's go ahead. Anyone in chat know if SafeMoon sold it on? Yeah, hopefully not. Ethereum ETF years away. There's a lawsuit. It could still be years away. It can be. But if so, that just means that we have even more time to make money in ETH. All right, let's get started on our analysis, guys. We got a lot to cover today. Bitcoin right now is trading at $69,900. It has been basically trading sideways for weeks on end now, and many people are getting impatient. Here's the deal. Bitcoin is going through healthy consolidation. It's so funny. As a YouTuber, I understand this, because when Bitcoin's doing this number, viewership does the same thing. It goes through the moon. When Bitcoin's doing this, viewership goes down. When Bitcoin is doing this, viewership stagnates, and it doesn't do anything. It's so funny how people just tune out when Bitcoin's trading sideways. Listen, I get it. If there's nothing to watch, I understand why you're like, I'm not too interested. But so many people get so bored with crypto, and they just throw in the towel and they give up hope whenever Bitcoin starts trading sideways. We have to see sideways movement from time to time. We see it all the time. We saw it in December. Bitcoin, thankfully, took a bit of a break during December and January. Our family was able to celebrate Christmas and go on a vacation without missing a whole lot, because Bitcoin was sideways. Then it absolutely moonshot in February and March. Absolutely exploded. Don't you think that it needs a corrective movement? Whenever a market goes through a gigantic rally, it is obvious that it's eventually going to need a corrective movement. Duh. And so that's what Bitcoin's been doing ever since Wednesday, March the 13th, because the day later we started a corrective movement. We've been trading sideways for 30 days. I am so excited to tell you that Bitcoin has actually not jumped off the metaphorical cliff. On this Monday, which was right here, this vertical line right here, this line right here, I said that we would soon be seeing a drop on Bitcoin. This was on Coffee and Crypto Live, so watch the show daily, guys. I've been basically telling you what Bitcoin's going to do next for the last few years now. You know, we don't always get it right, but we're normally pretty spot on if you give it if you pay attention. I told you guys that we would see a 15 to 25% drop on Bitcoin. We saw an 18% drop on Bitcoin. I said that would happen in the next few weeks. It actually happened in the next few days. What we ended up seeing is that Bitcoin saw that corrective movement, and then it continued trading sideways because it needed to. It's not a bad thing. It's a time to accumulate. Let's just roll it back for a second. A lot of people think, oh, well, if Bitcoin's not going up, then I've got no reason to be here. I'm gonna check out. Listen, I want to be crystal clear on something. The name of this channel is Crypto Jeb. Cryptocurrency is not going to make you wealthy. In the same way that a knife never killed anybody. Somebody holding the knife did. In the same way, crypto is not going to make you wealthy. You are going to make you wealthy. With crypto. with wisdom, with sound financial principles. What are those? 6 laws of money. We choose financial sovereignty. Remember the rant back at the beginning of the stream to set us off? We choose financial sovereignty. We live on less than we make. We have a written plan for our finances. That's called a budget. We get out of debt. We save and invest to build wealth. And we're radically generous. If we do those 6 things with our money, we will succeed with it. Proportional to how much tragedy and sadness and terrible stuff happens in your life, if you do those things, you will be successful, period. This is not get rich quick. This is get rich correctly, actually, and permanently. Again, there's tragedy in this fallen world. But when you do those things, you will be successful. Not one of those said anything about crypto. By the way, not one of those things ever said anything about the stock market either. Not one of those things ever said anything about gold or anything about the dollar or anything about real estate. It simply says save and invest to build wealth. You can invest in anything, but you want to be wise in what you invest in. I think crypto is a great investment, but there's a lot of other investments too. There's the stock market, the United States S&P 500, mutual funds, index funds, individual ETFs, real estate. REITs right now are outperforming the stock market in some cases. A REIT is a real estate investment trust, if you're not familiar with that. They are legally required to share the vast majority of the rental income with the REIT. So they bring about a return and they go up like an ETF or a stock. So there's a lot of different ways that you can invest and build wealth. First thing you have to do, this is the financial sovereignty way. You have to choose FinSov. You have to change and decide, I am not going to be a slave to my money anymore, period, full stop, I will not. I'm not doing it anymore. I tried it that way. It doesn't work. You know one of the reasons that I had trouble with authority as a kid? Because it seemed like just about every single time somebody else had control over my life got screwed up. And then you know what I realized? I realized when you're a child, other people are supposed to control your life. But those other people are supposed to be in control of themselves and leading you in the right way. As an adult, we are commanded and required to be in control of our lives. So first thing we have to do is we have to forsake everything that we know and choose financial sovereignty. We've got to be all in. Number 2 is we've immediately got to cut expenses down below income and live in a profit. I'm sorry, but if you've got 17 credit cards and you have no budget, you have no idea if you're living in a profit or not. For all you know, you're racking up $3,000 a month in credit card debt and you don't even realize it. We immediately cut expenses below income, period, full stop. It's not negotiable. You don't build wealth while you're in a deficit. It doesn't work. You don't make money while losing money. Come on. We build a budget. It's a written plan for our money. That's the law applied. That is the third step. Fourth step, we save a $2,500 starter emergency fund. Fifth step, we leverage our budget and our positive cash flow from cutting expenses and increasing income through side hustles or getting a promotion or whatever, and we pay off all of our debt and set our wealth generation high. Then we save a fully funded emergency fund. Then we save 15% for retirement. Then we pay off our house, and now we are free. We are financially free. Financial freedom means you have no debt and you have enough money to do the things you want to do. We are now financially free. Then we invest for wealth generation in stocks, cryptocurrency, real estate, whatever it may be. And then 10th, the end of the financial sovereignty way, is we are radically generous and we live an awesome life and we leave a great inheritance. That is how we're going to build wealth. Bitcoin's a way we can do that. So coming back now to the sideways Bitcoin, what do we do in this instance? Well, we remember that Bitcoin is just one component of the way that we're going to build wealth. The way we're going to build wealth is we're going to get out of debt. We're going to save and invest for the long term. Then we're going to invest for the shorter term plays. And we are going to make sure that we build a foundation and then another foundation and then another foundation. Your financial life is like this. You have to build a story at a time. You have to take it a step at a time. You have to do each step correctly. You have to dig the foundation, get out of debt. You have to have a blueprint for the skyscraper. That's your budget. You've got to build the foundation, which is securing your financial future through ensuring that you have a good career and ensuring that you are saving and investing for retirement. This is where we start pulling Bitcoin into this. I think it's a great idea to put some Bitcoin into your retirement accounts, into an IRA. I think it's a great idea to put 1 or 2%, or maybe even more, maybe 5% of your retirement towards crypto. Why so little? Well, because I can basically guarantee you that you're going to get wealthy in the stock market if you do that. Can't do that in crypto because there's still a lot that can happen. Crypto's still a much younger market. I think it's great. Still a much younger market. And 5% in Bitcoin, probably going to outperform the S&P 500 or whatever else you're investing in retirement. as long as you keep it there. And then after you've done all that, you paid off all the debt, you dug the hole, you built the foundation, you have this blueprint, then you start building story after story after story after story. Just like any of you guys that live in New York City, you know the way this works. You build the kind of the scaffolding, the frame, everything, and then you go story after story after story after story. You put the steel up, start building the floors out, you start putting the glass on, right? What we're going to do in crypto is we're going to save and invest for the long term, secure the future, and then we're going to save and invest for the now, which is where we're doing the kind of thing that we're doing in this bull market, where we're saying, I'm going to buy crypto right now and plan on holding it for a year, 18 months, I'm going to sell it. And that's the way I'm going to build wealth. I'm going to get out of debt, I'm going to have a written plan, I'm going to live on a budget, I'm going to invest, I'm going to build wealth, etc. All right, so that brings us to Bitcoin trading sideways. We incorporate this into our plan. What should we be doing right now? We're continuing to dollar cost average if that's what we're trying to do. If you're trying to dollar cost average into Bitcoin, then you continue dollar cost averaging. I don't care what the market looks like. The cool thing about Bitcoin is that it is, at this point, such a steady investment that I don't think it's a bad idea to have some of it for retirement. So you can just dollar cost average whenever. I don't care. You're going to retire in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. It's going to be worth more. It's going to be worth more. If it's here, which I think it will be, it's going to be worth more. So go ahead. Invest in the stock market. While it's trading sideways, continue to learn more about technical analysis, which I'm about to teach you some right now. Bitcoin just had a buy signal coming in from Lux Algo. That buy signal came in on the 8th of April, which was this Monday. We had trend catcher green for the last several weeks before that. We broke briefly above this downtrending level of resistance and seemingly have reset it. It's kind of hard to tell exactly where this trend line ought to be drawn at this point in time because so much has changed. But I think the original drawing is still probably the best drawing. As you can see here, we have multiple touches with it as resistance, a few touches recently with it as support. What we're going to see is that Bitcoin is going to be able to bounce off of its previous all-time high, which sits here at $68,600, and it's going to be able to bounce and rally up towards the high. Now, the buy signal on Lux Algo is very exciting because the buy signal on Lux Algo points us up towards $75,000 to $80,000. Very, very, very good sign. Very good sign. The last 8 times that we have seen a confirmed buy signal come in on Bitcoin, we have seen Bitcoin rally up towards the price target. It's rallied at least 10%, and it has absolutely moonshot. Of the last 8 times, 7 times that has happened. 1 time it has not. That is a 85% accuracy. Very good hit rate. Very, very good hit rate. With Bitcoin sitting well above all-time high now, a couple $1,000s above all-time high now anyway, we have every reason to believe that after the halving event comes in and the uncertainty dissipates, we will see a major rally on Bitcoin. And I do think that that's what we're going to see happen. I do think that we're going to see a major rally happening on Bitcoin at some point in the next couple of weeks. And I think that that major rally will start by leading us up to at least $80,000, probably higher. So stay tuned, because a rally is coming in on Bitcoin. Continue to dollar cost average, and make sure that you're building out a portfolio in Bitcoin for retirement, and by investing for this cycle. All right, let's go ahead and read some chat. Ethan S. has joined our membership as a Jedi youngling. Welcome, Ethan S., to the Jedi Knights. I now dub thee a Knight of the Jedi Order. That's just something fun that we've done, guys. It's a way of supporting the channel, so thank you guys so much. All right. Shadrach Frost said, I don't just come here for the crypto, but also for the wisdom, scripture, questions, interactions, and the good times. Best channel on YouTube. Thank you so much, Shadrach Frost. I don't know about that, but I do appreciate it. Indriko Vasic said, Jeb, act your age. LMAO. What did I do? I want to assume you're saying I was acting older than I am, but normally when people say that, they're saying you're acting immature. I gotta know. All right. Bitcoin will top out at 85K. Sorry to all Moon Boys. Maybe. Don't think so. Maybe. I've been DCAing a little each day as long as it stays under 70K. Jennifer Lee B. Me said. Sounds good. Makes sense. Hustle, put in the work. That's right, guys. A lot of people get on this bandwagon and they're saying, oh, work hard, not smart. Or work smart, not hard. That's the more common ones. Work smart, not hard. My friend, you will get nowhere in life without working hard. Nowhere. Did that blow up your eardrums enough? You'll get nowhere in life without busting your tail. Because nothing worth having came easy. Nothing. Travis Michael said, Jeb, did you see the polka dot Indy car that Connor Daly is driving around for the 500? It's a rad story of how it came about. I haven't. Polka dot car in Indy 500. Well, actually, funnily enough, we just watched a movie last night that involved the Indy 500 with my son. Our daughter turned 1 yesterday, so happy birthday to Charity. And we watched a movie, and we watched Turbo. If anybody's ever seen that movie, great time, but that movie takes place at the Indy 500. I'm sure at least some of you guys in chat have seen that movie before. But let's see. 24 Chevy is a polka dot. The blockchain technology will serve as the primary sponsor for Connor Daly. Cool. Interesting. That's really cool. Hey, that's great, man. Look, cryptocurrency is getting out there. It's not going to die. Cryptocurrency is going to be here to stay. Yeah, it's here to stay. It's not going to go anywhere. He's talking about, let's see if I can get a picture of this up. Let's get a picture of this up. Boom. How about that? The main sponsor for that car. Epic. Absolutely cool. Very, very cool. Polka dot Chevy, Indy 500. Formula 1 race car. Is Indy 500 Formula 1? I think I just ticked everybody off. That's not the same thing, is it? I don't know, man. I like to make right turns. It's not my favorite sport. I'm sorry, I said it. I'm just kidding. It's fun. It is actually really cool. Yeah, no, it's not. No, they're not the same thing. I knew better than that. Come on, Jeb. I knew better than that. They're not the same thing. As you can tell, I don't watch a lot of racing. It's not, lol. What are your thoughts? Let's see. Meant all good. Keep the young spirit. Don't focus on retirement too much. No, I'm not worried about retirement. I just want to make sure that you guys are putting it there. All right. Let's see. Drastically different car setups. That makes sense. F1 wannabe. Oof. Got some fire coming in. Coming in hot. It's the beginning of a cup and handle on the weekly for Bitcoin. Interesting concept. Are you talking about... Yes, actually. I see what you mean. Interesting. Interesting theory. Very interesting theory. Yes, so for anybody who's gone through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you will be familiar with the cup and handle formation. The cup and handle formation is in CT2A, we used a market over here in 2019 to teach cup and handle. But the cup and handle formation looks a little bit like this. We'll use the exact same area that we used to teach it in CT2A, and that is right here. We had, and obviously it didn't pan out the way we thought it would because the pandemic hit. But a cup and handle formation looks like this. You have the cup, and then you have the handle. And then what you do, you draw a price target, just like this, and you extrapolate. Now, did we hit $15,000? No, because of the pandemic. But did we eventually hit $15,000? Yes, we probably would have hit it a lot sooner if not for the pandemic. That's one of the things I want to remind you guys is that Bitcoin rallied to all-time high post-halving, quite a bit post-halving in 2020. But don't forget there was a pandemic going on that shut down the global economy, cut the United States gross domestic product by a third, $8 trillion a year, evaporated. Stock market, $10 trillion, gone. Completely destroyed the global economy for a season. So Bitcoin running to all-time high before the halving, in this case, where the market is recovering, is not as surprising, to be honest with you. As far as that cup and handle comment, I think that is very likely. In fact, I think that's probably what's going on. We probably are seeing a cup and handle formation forming exactly right here. So keep that in mind, guys. That cup and handle formation on the weekly chart, it would have a price target pointing to well over $150,000. Well over $150,000. Good eye. Good spot. All right. Jeb People's Champ. At the end of the day, I want you guys to succeed. The banks want you to be in debt because you make money. You know, I meet people all the time. And, you know, There are so many people out there that they make all of their money at the end of the day by charging people interest on loans. You know, for example, credit cards. People say, oh man, I'll get ahead on the credit card miles. Research has now shown that the people that make money, that like 2% of people that beat the whole credit card system game and actually make more money on cashback and more money on miles, the way they do that is by the bank has to charge interest. And the people that are disproportionately drowning in credit card debt are minorities and poor people. So when we are making money, if we're participating in that whole system of making money on debt, we are disproportionately making money on people that are drowning in credit card debt or in mortgage debt, whatever it is. Drowning in a HELOC. I remember there was this one ad that just made me sick to my stomach. I was watching something. This ad came on, and it was from Rocket Mortgage. Good old Rocket Mortgage. I say that, obviously, facetiously. And it was this ad of like 3 different people that had a lot going on. They're spending a bunch of money. They're basically drowning, right? They can't afford to live life. And so, one of them was like a bunch of groceries. Like, oh my gosh, price of groceries just go up. One of them like had a birthday party or something. Oh my goodness, price of this just went up. I might be misremembering the exact specific examples. But they then go on to say, just ask your house. And then they have this website, just ask your house or just ask your home, just askyourhome.com. It brings you to Rocket Mortgage. It literally redirects you. If you type in justaskyourhome.com, it takes you to Rocket Mortgage. See, this guy with the groceries. This is the guy from the ad. Just ask your home. Hands down, best company to use for any refinance, mortgage, or equity loan. They will do what's best for you. That's what they're trying to convince you. The banks and the people that loan you money, they are both in the same camp. They want to convince you they are here to do what is best for you, when in fact, they're doing what is best for them, which is keeping poor old Richard here, or whatever his name is, this guy, in debt. I've got a house right here. Oh, it's got equity. Why don't I just borrow against it and save up more money? You could have thousands of dollars in your home for goals like renovation and debt consolidation. So you're going to renovate your home by taking out a second mortgage on it. Apply today for a home equity loan or a cash out refinance. So you're going to take the money out of your house. You're going to take the equity out of your house so that you are in more debt and you can pay Rocket Mortgage more money. If you just completely forget about morality for a second, it is a great marketing scheme. Convince people it's good for them to be in more debt so that they will have more debt to pay interest on and you can make more money. If you just completely forget about morality and the fact that those people that are already drowning in debt are now going to go into even more debt to try and pay you, if you forget about the morality of that, that's a great business model. Let somebody else pay you just for borrowing your money. If you forget about morality. But we don't do that. You know why we don't do that? Because there's somebody on the other end of that equation that is getting screwed over. And a lot of times that's you. And I don't want that to be you. So let's not have that be us. Let's get out of debt, invest in crypto. You want to know the best way to stick it to the banks? Get out of debt and buy crypto. Wow. Let's do that together and build wealth. I want you all to be so filthy, stinking, freaking rich. That's what I want for you. I don't want you to idolize it. I don't want you to think that that's your entire purpose in life. But I do want you to build wealth. It's good for you to build wealth if you use it correctly. All right, let's read chat for a minute, and then we're going to wrap it out. Guys, I do want to let you know that today's stream is brought to you in part by NordVPN. If you go to nordvpn.com/Jeb, you will be getting access to a piece of software that is going to keep you safe while you browse online. So thank you very much to NordVPN. Again, go to nordvpn.com/Jeb. All right. All right. Guys, OMA season chat. Good for you. Don't work for money, have your money work for you. Better yet, do both. If you can get to a position where your money working for you is the only thing you need to do, that's great. But you're going to have to work to maintain it. Don't work for money. Let your money work for you. Yes, you need to be in control of your money. Insofar as what Fornav is saying, you don't want your... Fornavin? Fornavin. I'm going to say Fornavin. I think that's the way to say it. I'm sorry. You don't want to be a slave to your finances. You want them to be doing what you would have them do. So yeah, absolutely. I see what you're saying. All right, guys. I hope you have enjoyed today's stream. Absolutely choose FinSov. Please choose financial sovereignty. You will be so much better off because you did. I really, really, really am hoping and praying that you guys will do that. Like I said, that's going to wrap it out for today's stream. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave it in chat. But right now, we are going to wrap it out. Before I go, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.